You're listening to the audio portion of Workshop Wednesdays. Workshop Wednesdays is a free live discussion about topics affecting accountants, bookkeepers, and business owners. You can join the ABO group in Facebook to participate live Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Just search for ABBO in Facebook. This podcast is brought to you by Schoolofbookkeeping.com, where you will learn, grow, and build a thriving bookkeeping practice. We have hundreds of lessons with almost every aspect of the industry. Start your free month today at Schoolofbookkeeping.com. Welcome to another Workshop Wednesday. I'm going to stop the sharing here. Okay. Yeah, so as far as the format, what we're hoping to do here with the workshop is make it a little bit more engageable. So this is more like a meeting instead of a webinar or streaming that we were doing. So we can certainly have participation and those types of things. Down at the bottom, you have your normal things about people, chat, sharing, that sort of thing. It's a good idea to open up the chat. That way you can have the chat on the sidebar if you need to want to say something or add to it, so we're not all talking over each other, especially as more and more people get the message about how to join in on the Workshop Wednesday. But the whole idea is when I go live, it will send out a notification to everyone who has Workshop Wednesday on their School Bookkeeping. I'll try to go live or start the live 15 minutes prior to give people enough time to stop what they're doing, or like Dina, while they're doing to join in.
Yeah, I got the email.
Good. I did notice in the email there was a place there. If you want to see what the topics are, you can find it here, and it's missing. So I do know that's an action item for myself there. But apparently QuickBooks Online was down today. Rachel, how did you find out besides the email from Holly?
In my Slack, my whole team said.
Yeah. It's so funny that, not funny, but it's just ironic that when I worked at Intuit, I would find out when things were wrong from customers before internal communications would come out. But typically that's how things happen, is that people who are using it discover these things first. How much of a disruption, Rachel, was it to your workday today when it was down?
I don't completely know yet because so I work with a lot of apps that sync into QBO. So it's really the ones that are active in those apps saw that broken connection. So some of them probably haven't even seen it yet because maybe they don't go in every day or something. But yeah, it's a pretty big disruption because I don't always know if I have to go back in and remap something or if I have to just reconnect it. In this situation that I was just talking about with our shared client, I just reconnected it and it looked like it was fine. Now, if I had to go back in and remap all that, I would be pretty upset. But yeah, it seems to be like we're good now.
Yeah, and Dina, how much of a interruption was this to your day?
Actually, it worked out nicely, to be honest with you, because my employee reached out and she's can't get into QuickBooks. So I'm like, that's great. Why don't you work on that other project I've been wanting you to get finished for us? And yeah, put some time into that. That would be great. It actually worked out well for us. We didn't hear from any clients, but it was a little frustrating because in one of my clients, we do keep some of our passwords in there, and we weren't able to do a couple of things for them because we couldn't get a hold of that. But it was fine.
Jessica, thanks for joining. I'm gonna toss a question to you. Did you experience clients talking and messaging you about QBO being down today? You're muted if you are saying anything. I'll throw it over to you, Susan, because I know you're more desktop related than anything else. But did you have any interruption?
It didn't bother me at all. No interruption. I just went to log in because everybody was like, oh my God, I can't do it. Okay, you're right.
You're correct. Yeah, one of the biggest challenge, I think, with outages, right? And I wish, if I could have a wish list of QuickBooks Online features, would to have an offline mode, right? When there isn't an internet connection or stable internet connection, or if there is an outage like this, to have something that they can work in and then uploads later when there is a
that's a really good idea.
Which is why I'm 98% desktop.
It definitely has its benefits.
Yeah, and that's typically what I talk to when people are debating. It's like they both have issues. It's just which issue makes more working sense for you, right? Because times like this, when there is an outage, that certainly plays an impact on your workday, right? If you're in QuickBooks Online on a regular basis, and that's your workflow and your workload, when you cannot do that, that's very disruptive. So like Dina was saying, having a plan B task for the day to be able to work on is a great thing. I saw one post where, what are people doing? And some people are like, I'm going swimming. It's a forced break or something like that. But so on that note, I had put together, we pull this up here. Where am I sharing? There we go. So there is a website or a link, a page on my website. I'll put it in the chat here. So you have access to it to share it with your team or share it with your clients, because you can, there are several sites that are out there that detect whether QuickBooks Online is down, right? And I've consolidated them all here. So the official QuickBooks status is here. I can subscribe to if there are any updates. Now, ironically, when people were saying it was down today, this was all green. So it was not updated. The status of QuickBooks Online being down was not updated. It's not live as far as that. But my thinking or my thought here is, here's the past incidents, right? It was resolved. Well, let's see. Started 6:08 Pacific time. That they were aware of some customers. I think that some meaning all. I don't know who.
So they mean AM.
Yeah, this is Pacific time, so it's 6:08 Pacific time AM.
No, I know. That's why I said it's the 8th. I don't know. I just looked. Yes, it is.
So they indicate the issues, they communicate, and they mark it resolved. Now, just because it was resolved at 9:05 or 9:25 Pacific time doesn't mean that everybody is able to get in, right? Because depending on the severity of the outage, there is some redundancy checks and things that need to take place. It's not like they can just simply reboot the server or something like that. Everything has to be insured and quality control and all that stuff before things are back to normal. So just because it says resolved doesn't mean that it's truly resolved for you. And just because it says there's no problems doesn't mean there's no problems for you either. So this is a little bit behind, right? It will get updated later, and it will flesh itself out later than reality. But what I was thinking is that this outage probably had something to do with the scheduled maintenance that's planning to happen in a few days. Maybe these issues were either a side effect or a cause of why they're doing this scheduled maintenance to begin with. Right? This might have something to do with that. But also, there's several other outage options in here. A down detector was actually the only one of these four, when I looked at it, was actually saying there was an outage.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. Down detector?
Yeah.
That's the only one that I've seen that is reliable for anything.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I didn't even, I'm going to look that up right now and bookmark it.
It's right here. You
Oh,
don't
it's
need
on,
to
oh,
bookmark
okay.
it. I've done all that for you.
Too late.
Just
I
have
got
this
it.
site. Oh, geez.
Oh, wait, no,
but
the one I
there's
have is California, Canada. Hold on.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, there we go.
And then there's
I don't know why I always confuse .ca. I always think California.
But there's options up here at the top as far as cleaning temporary internet files, trying to log into a private browsing session, using the desktop app. These are things that you can do to determine whether it's you or if it's system-wide as troubleshooting steps as well. So good resource to have. All right, let me get back here. All right, so the main topic that we wanted to talk about here today is the buy now, pay later options in QuickBooks Online payments, right? So this is very similar to the options that they included with regards to Venmo and PayPal being a payment option inside of QuickBooks Online. So they function the same way. But the first thing we want to talk about is what the heck is buy now, pay later? Rachel, in your workings with other clients, do you have a lot of people that utilize that, or have mentioned, oh boy, I wish I had this option of buy now, pay later?
That a lot. Oh, you know what? Am I breaking up?
It did a little bit, but it's not bad now. Yes.
Okay. I'm just getting a notice saying poor connection. So let me know if I'm breaking up at all. Yeah, because we deal with e-commerce, we have most of our clients are point of sale rather than invoicing. So yes, a lot of it. And because we deal with a lot of Shopify sellers, there's a lot of Shopify installments. It's called Shop Pay. And so, yeah, that's a really big thing. And I noticed that it was going to be in QBO invoicing too, which I think is really cool. Do you know what it's powered by?
It's powered by Affirm.
So yeah. So we do a lot of Affirm, and it's cool. I like it.
Yeah. So the basic gist is these companies, here it is. Their fee covers the cost of administrating the administrative burden by Affirm, right? The basic idea is with a buy now, pay later, it allows customers to purchase whatever it is that they're purchasing. The behind the scenes, what actually happens is they provide a lump sum payment to the seller, and then they take on the burden of collecting monthly payments from the customer, right?
Yep.
So that's the advantage of a business owner wanting to do that, right? If you have considering your engagements as a bookkeeper, you may have a cleanup project that you might want to have somebody take part of, and you want your money up front to do that, but maybe they're not in the position to be able to do that. This sort of thing allows that to occur, allows best of both worlds, where they pay monthly or for whatever terms, frequency they want to, so that they don't have to pay all up front. You as a business owner get your money up front, and everybody's happy. That's the whole idea, right? The problem is that when Shop Pay or Affirm, what's the other one? Klarna, I think it is.
Yeah.
Some of the other buy now, pay later
Bread.
service.
There's a
Was
whole
it
bunch
bread?
of them.
Thread?
Yeah, bread.
Oh.
Like butter mine.
Oh, butter and bread. The problem is that with that additional risk, it comes an additional fee.
Yep.
Okay.
They're
Anywhere from 3 to 6%. What have you seen, Rachel, in this space?
Yeah, and it's really like the faster the payout, the higher the fee is. Pay simple is another one, I think, but I think it's incredibly helpful that QBO has done this, because for the customers that are invoicing, you're giving your customer, for our clients that are invoicing, they're giving their customers more options to pay. So I'm all for the addition of PayPal and Venmo and buy now, pay later. I'm a big fan of that. So the more things you add, the more complex the bookkeeping gets. But I'm a big fan of giving their customers lots of different ways to pay.
Yeah. Is that when you enable this within QB payments, the fees are homogenized to QuickBooks payments.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the thing is that with all the other additional payment options, Venmo, PayPal, and now this buy now, pay later, it all is dependent. The fee that you pay as a business owner is all dependent on how the payment is taken, not necessarily the payment method that is used. Because PayPal or Venmo and now these Affirm would have different levels of fees associated with their services, right? So whatever the method is that they pay, or how they pay, is what you're charged as through the QuickBooks Online payments, right? So as it's mentioning here, this is the MSRP transactional fee of 2.99% when you invoice somebody out of QuickBooks Online, and they pay, right, with everything except ACH. So this is the same fee that you're going to pay regardless of PayPal, Venmo, or now this buy now, pay later option, right? So that 3 to 6%, which is typically a higher risk fee that these services are charging the end user, which is the business owner, is now homogenized into the QuickBooks Online fee structure, right? So
yeah, and even better, it's all included in the one payout. Like, I'm guessing that it's all going to work the same, in that invoice is posted, the receive payment is recorded using QB payments, and then the actual payout comes, it matches, and then creates the deposit. But the thing is regardless of which option the customer is paying, it's all going to come in, and you don't need to create separate clearing accounts, is what I'm saying. Like, regardless if they pay via Venmo, PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, or Affirm, It's all just going to come in and undeposited funds is used. Very similar to Shopify in that if you enable Apple Pay, Google Pay, Shop Pay, all these other pays, it's all going to come in into the one Shopify payment clearing thing. It depends on what connector you're using. If it's A2X, then you wouldn't be using that. But it's really that, as opposed to if I connected PayPal separately or Affirm separately or Venmo separately, then we set up individual clearing accounts for those. But when it's all homogenized into one payout like this, and it's coming through QBO, then the default is undeposited funds. Now, I'm guessing that you're going to have things sitting in undeposited funds a little bit longer. Maybe not, because the whole buy now, pay later thing is that you get the payout right away. Yeah. So there is no delay.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great add to the QuickBooks payments option, because the fees are the same, the experience is the same, and
wait, so you're saying with the Affirm though, it's capping at the 2.9%, and it's not, I don't know if it's 4 installments or something like that. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know enough if it gives you different options for more or less installments. I really don't know. But that's not, let's say if I were going to do it with Affirm standalone, my fee might be higher. But if I do it within QBO, it's going to be that QBO fee that's the same as PayPal, Venmo, and QB payments.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a really good deal.
Yes.
Now the question is it going to be like that in perpetuity? I don't know.
Yeah. They may realize they made a mistake.
Yeah.
Right.
Oops.
And because this would drive people to use the buy now, pay later service just by saving their funds, right? They don't have to set up their own Affirm account or payment processor with some other manner of ways of collecting those payments. And two, the experience is exactly the same as it is if they paid it with a credit card, right?
Yeah.
So all in all, it's a win-win, right? For everyone. They pay less fees. They give their customers a better payment option or an additional method of payment, and their experience is exactly the same.
Yeah, the invoicor is not getting dinged an additional fee by offering Affirm now, which typically you would pay a higher percentage fee by offering buy now, pay later.
Which, Susan, since you're mostly dealing with desktop, I don't know if this is even an option in desktop with the PayPal and the buy now, pay later options. Have you seen that in any of your clients?
I haven't, but I have heard from this person that was in an insightful accountant seminar last month. Basis, BASYS. It's another merchant service thing.
They can do that.
They're doing all kinds of weird things. I'm having a thing with them next week. Yeah.
Got it.
Because just to find out what it's all about.
Oh,
It's basically another payment option.
merchant service.
Yeah. They're
with
like
QuickBooks
all
Desktop.
about beating into its cost.
Got it.
Oh yeah. I don't see it has a buy now, pay later, but I see it has all the typical merchant services stuff.
Yeah, where you can charge the customer the fee and all that stuff. I'm sure that's the common thing that people are asking about.
Yeah.
And the QuickBooks Payments doesn't allow you to do. You can, but it's there's some things about it, right? If you turn off all the payment options, then QuickBooks offers to charge the customer the fee, but it's $25 and it's only ACH payments.
Yeah.
But that's a little, I think the adjective I've heard is ridiculous. That's the feedback that I've heard about. For an ACH payment to charge $25 is pretty large.
Highway robbery.
And I believe there is an option, now that I think about it, there is an option to actually turn that option off. But just being aware that it is an option, just because you turn off your payment methods, don't think that that Intuit won't want to try to offer a payment method like that. But in the grand scheme of things, I think this is similar to, and that's one of the advantages, I think, or the benefits of QuickBooks payments, is that the fees are the same, right? Because there used to be a different merchant account fee for Amex or Discover. All these different payment processors have their own fee structure.
Yeah.
And now that they're adding them all into one merchant processor, they are taking the stance that those fees are the same, regardless of how they're collected. The only method is the risk in which they're collected, right? If you are in person and you use the tap to pay or paying in person, that is less of a risk because you see the card present, right? And the swiped rate is less than the e-invoice rate, which is less than the key-in entered rate. And those are the three methods of which you can collect a payment. And that's the buckets that it falls into. Of course, using the Pro Advisor referral option is going to save them even more over what the MSRP is. But in general, that's the homogenized fee structure strategy. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today. Rachel, any other thoughts about this?
No, I was just actually messaging my marketing gal to say, for the next newsletter, we need to highlight Affirm being used in QB payments, because I just think it's huge. And I already know 3-4 clients off the top of my head that I know absolutely would like to utilize this. And I know that they've reached out to me before about collections and possibly factoring companies and things like that. So I think this is a good use. Oh, you know what I'm curious about though? Like, okay, the fee for us, okay, so like me, let's say I'm an invoicer. My fee is the 2.99%, but what are they charging? What's Intuit charging the invoicee to use the buy now, pay later?
Nothing. It's all part of the cost, right? The cost of taking payments. Now, Affirm may be charging them 6%, maybe charging.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
that's what I'm saying. What's Affirm charging them? I don't know, but maybe Intuit negotiated with Affirm a lower rate or something. Yeah. I don't know. That would be, I'd be interested in knowing that. But this is something for me. I want to give an update to all of my clients that specifically invoice that, because I was saying a lot of them are POS, but I still have a chunk that invoice for sure.
Yeah.
I want them to know.
Yeah. Because it's at this point, I don't see a downside to it, because again, it gives them more payment method options. It gives them their money up front. They're not waiting for the payments to be made, or they don't have to make special arrangements like, okay, I can't pay this. Can you send me out for monthly installment payments.
Yeah.
And then,
Yep.
and then they come to you and say, how do I handle that in QuickBooks?
Yeah. Or how about the ones that insist on paying by wire because they don't want to pay by, I don't know. I have some people that do that where they want to pay by wire. And so then that requires they have to email us or Slack us or message or whatever in our portal and say, okay, this payment is for blah, blah, blah. Whereas I honestly prefer QuickBook payments because we see that in the bank feed and get the notification right away and you get the auto match. That it's like, I'd rather have less random wires that we have to stay on top of. And now client can go, oh, cool. Now I can just enable Affirm, and I'd rather do that than, collect a wire. Because I get my money right away.
And the customer gets to choose how frequently they need to be charged, right? And Affirm is taking on basically the risk of what if they don't pay.
But maybe they decided the QB opportunity is enough to be able to offset whatever risk that we may.
They're likely giving a discount on their fee because of the volume that they're hopefully anticipating. That's because Dan likes it. And he's going to tell other people about it. And now Rachel likes it.
Yeah, I like it
other
too.
People about it.
I like it too. But like I said, I've always been a fan of get that money. And I think I know some other bookkeepers are like, I really don't want that complication. But for me, I've just spent enough time in that space that I don't mind it. And by the way, for accountants and bookkeepers, it is a way, like adding additional payment methods, although in this case, it's no more complicated. But typically, if it does add complication, it's a way to more fees, more charge, more way to increase your revenue by adding that bit of complexity on there.
Exactly. So next week, we are going to be talking about QuickBooks Online Bill Pay and the new functions that are available in there, parallel approvals and things like that. Hopefully you all can join us next week for that. And we'll see you next time on Workshop Wednesday. Have a great day, everyone. And that wraps up another insightful episode of Workshop Wednesday, brought to you by Schoolofbookkeeping.com. We hope you enjoyed today's discussion and took away some valuable tips and strategies to enhance your bookkeeping practice. Remember, if you want to stay ahead in the world of bookkeeping and accounting, be sure to visit Schoolofbookkeeping.com. With a wide range of courses, resources, and expert guidance, you'll find everything you need to sharpen your skills and boost your career. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed today's show, please take a moment to leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice. Your reviews help us reach more listeners and continue to bring you the best content every week. If you have questions or topics you'd like us to cover, reach out to us on social media or send us an email at support@schoolofbookkeeping.com. We love hearing from our listeners and are always looking for new ideas to explore. Thanks for tuning in to Workshop Wednesday. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep excelling in your bookkeeping journey. I am Dan DeLong, and we'll see you next time.